Welcome back to Gooner Fanzine TV after Arsenal's desperately disappointing 2-1 home defeat to Eintracht Frankfurt in the Europa League. I'm here with Dan the Man Mounty, who's just come from the press box. We've talked about Unai Emery in a previous piece, so we're not going to talk too much about him now. We're going to talk about player ratings, basically. So, Dan, tell us, give us your player ratings.
Well, Emi Martinez started in goal. I gave him a 5. I thought maybe could have done better with a second goal. Wasn't quite in the corner, although it did come through a crowd of players, so you possibly didn't see it till late. I made one really good save in the second half, I thought, from Kostic, that one down low to his left. But yeah, it wasn't really an inspiring performance, so yeah, I gave him a 5.
Yeah, he's played a lot better. He played a lot better in Frankfurt as well, in the 3-0 victory. Yeah. He didn't really, I don't know if he organised his backline as well as he has done previously. What was your take on that? Do you think he could have done better in terms of that as well?
I think it's a kind of issue that runs through the Arsenal team, let alone just Martinez. Yeah. I mean, there's no one there who takes hold of it and says, you should be here, you should be here, you go for this ball, I'll stay here. There's just no organisation and no leadership in there, which is one of many problems at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. What'd you give him? 5?
A 5, yeah.
Yeah, 5. I think it's about right.
And then Callum Chambers played right back, gave him a 3.5. I thought he was absolutely awful tonight. Getting caught out of position time and time again. He was way too narrow, he was way too close to the centre half inside of him. Frankfurt just kept going down the outside time and time again. Yeah. And he has to play better if he wants to be in the Arsenal team, basically.
Yeah, it was a poor night for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's probably about right, really.
Yeah, and then Sokratis was the worst of the bunch, and I gave him a 3. I described him as hapless, calamitous and woeful.
I think that's about right, really. Yeah.
I mean, just over and over and over again, he just keeps getting caught on the ball, losing it in silly areas, not being in the right position, not being quick enough, not being aware enough of what the situation is around him, and he has to do better. Yeah. If he's not dropped, Arsenal continue to play poorly. He's one of the many reasons that they aren't playing well. Yeah. So, 3.
Absolutely. Just for anyone who's listening and watching, that noise you can hear is celebrating Eintracht Frankfurt fans as the coach comes past, basically. So you may hear a few.
That's going to be there for a while.
Yeah,
in that traffic.
No pyro yet, but there's certainly loads of inebriated Frankfurt fans cheering their team's coach past, basically. So, in case you didn't watch the game, there was probably about, 1,000, 1,500 Frankfurt fans.
Somehow got into club level.
I
don't know how. But
so, presumably they were drinking free beer all night as well. That's not a bad away trip, is it, really?
From what I saw when they arrived, they'd had enough beer as it was. They've clearly had a good night.
Yeah, I think they're going to remember this trip for a long time, basically. Got into Arsenal when they shouldn't have been there and free beer all night and watched the team win. So, anyway, back to player ratings.
And then Mustafi, who played alongside Sokratis, I thought he had an okay performance.
He's had worse games, hasn't he? Yeah.
I gave him a 6, pretty middle of the road. I thought made some important interceptions and blocks.
Yeah.
Decent performance. Yeah. I mean, Emery said in his programme notes that, he's done well in the Europa League, which I agree with. I think he has, and he has a chance of getting himself back in the team if he keeps playing well in the Europa League. And I think he had an okay performance tonight. Yeah. And the way the other centre-back's been playing, he's got every right to say, I should be starting in the Premier League. Yeah.
So, I mean, me and Serge are talking about that. I think you're absolutely right. But what does that say about Rob Holding if he can't get into
Rob Holding's out injured at the moment.
Of course he is, sorry. Yeah,
so, obviously
one of those
wasn't on the bench tonight. Yeah. But I think, he'd probably definitely start for me. I think
on Sunday?
If he's fit,
If he's fit,
he'd start every week for me. I think he's probably Arsenal's best defender.
Yeah.
So, he should be in the side when he's fit. But, Mustafi was okay, gave him a 6.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not Mustafi's biggest fan by any stretch of the imagination, but he did okay tonight, so we're not going to knock him for the sake of knocking him. Yeah. I think a 6 is probably about right,
Kieran Tierney, I gave a 5. Didn't think he got forward as we've seen him do in previous games. Yeah. But on the counter side of that, I think that was probably because Bukayo Saka on that same side didn't come back and give him enough support. Yeah. So Frankfurt were kind of able to pin him back, not allow him to go forward and have an effect on the game as we've seen him have. So 5.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. You need your man further forward to come back sometimes and help out.
You've got to work as a team, and they didn't do that tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So. It's not particularly Saka's fault. He's young, he's learning.
Naive.
He'll learn that basically. But I think you're absolutely right. And Tierney can play a lot better than he did basically.
Yeah, David Luiz obviously came off for half an hour, started in a midfield role, which is the first time we've seen that in Arsenal shirt. Yeah. And in the half an hour he played, I thought he was okay. Yeah. I thought he added a bit of steel, he got stuck in. Good energy in the centre of the park. I thought he did okay, so I gave him a 6. Probably would have been higher if he'd have played the full game or longer than that. I thought he did okay.
Good energy from Dan the Man Mounty towards Louise. That's high praise indeed, isn't it, really?
Well, I've been quite critical of him, and understandably, I think everyone will agree with that. He's not been great for Arsenal since he joined from Chelsea in the summer, but He played okay tonight, and I think it probably will be an option that Emery considers in the future.
Yeah,
quite rightly, because he looked more comfortable there than he has in any game he's played at centre back so far.
Yeah, and I've said it before. I don't know if I've said it on camera, but I think that should be his preferred position at Arsenal. As a 32-year-old central defender who can't actually defend, basically, but is great technically. Why not play him?
You mentioned the mistakes. You almost put him in midfield, and you help kind of take away the errors out of his game.
Yeah,
because they're not happening as far back as they have been. Yeah, that'll help take pressure off the defence. Obviously, he's still going to lose the ball from time to time. Every player does. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, as you say, he's more suited to that position.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And what did you give him again?
6.
A 6. Yeah, that's about right, really.
Yeah, and then Granit Xhaka, obviously, back in the side after his outburst and stripping of the captaincy.
Yeah, well, if we take a step back, he was sort of cheered. There were a round of applause.
The reception was okay.
Yeah, the reception was okay. There was a few boos, but my point, I think I tweeted out, was just it was complete indifference apart from that, basically, and that says a lot about Arsenal at the moment, basically. Before you give him a mark, did you see him afterwards as well? He was with the sort of Frankfurt players, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to make of it, because I don't think he was being deliberately disrespectful against Arsenal, basically.
No.
But maybe he was making a slight point. You just never know. He's an experienced player.
Well,
he knows the spotlight will be on him, and he knows that if he's seen laughing and sort of, giving his sort of former Bundesliga colleagues a hug and a pat on the back, then that will be picked up. And he could have done that in the dressing room or the change or the tunnel, basically. So I'm not sure what to make of that. I'm not his biggest fan at all. I was surprised he came back to start with, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that say about Arsenal as a club anyway?
I think it's purely based on a shortage of central midfielders at the moment. Obviously, Sokratis is out injured, needed to rest Guendouzi and Torreira.
Yeah.
Don't think they had many options, but as you say, it shows a lot of a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, Torreira's on the bench though, so he could have played. But I'll take your point. But ultimately, what did you give him? Let's go back to you.
I gave him a 5. I thought, just didn't really do a lot to affect the game, did he?
Yeah. He got booked as well, didn't he? So
what do you expect? Yeah, I think, the reception for him was okay, but I think it was the right night to bring him back in, obviously, with all the empty seats and the smaller crowd.
Yeah.
Most of the kind of anger and frustration being directed towards Unai Emery. It's probably the best night to bring him back in, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it didn't really do a lot for me tonight, so I gave him a 5.
Yeah, I think it's probably right. And I've just got to ask you, what do you think about afterwards then? Because I sort of gave my say.
I think, obviously, he knows the camera's going to be on him. It might have been a gesture that was deliberate. But I also think about it this way. There might have been other players who had a smile on their face when they left the pitch, having a laugh with someone that maybe weren't caught on camera. So it probably is a little bit harsh to direct criticism towards him for that, but I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Move on.
And then Joe Willock, I gave a 6. I thought he's a bit better than he was in recent weeks, especially in that first half. Really drove Arsenal on, really good energy.
Yeah.
Worked hard, faded in the second half, and he was kind of drawn further and further back, which we know is where he's not at his best.
Yeah.
So better, but still needs work. So 6.
Yeah. There was a couple of late forays when he sort of darted on, but I think he made the wrong decision and ultimately was ineffective. So maybe I'll give him a 5, 5.5. But
fair enough.
Same ballpark really.
Yeah. And then Gabriel Martinelli also gave him a 6. Thought it was not his best performance in Arsenal shirt. Obviously, we've seen him do really well in previous Europa League games.
Yeah.
Set up the opener. Still had an impact in that way, but could have done better for me.
Yeah.
Obviously came off as well. Probably came off a little bit too early for me, and I would have taken off Saka instead of him.
Yeah.
But another one of the baffling decisions with Unai Emery. So 6 for Martinelli.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, he's played a lot better basically, and it's not a sort of game that he particularly thrived in tonight, although he could have done basically. But ultimately, he's 18 and he's a youngster.
You've got to think of the youngsters. It's a very difficult situation for them. They're just coming through. They're trying to make their mark, but they're playing somewhere where the fans aren't on their side. The atmosphere is really sour. The manager's not giving them instructions that come across really well.
Yeah.
A lot of them probably don't have any clue what they're doing, so it must be such a difficult situation for them.
Yeah, it's almost sink or swim really, and it's a real test of character. And I'm not sure you want to blood youngsters in this sort of situation or play them in this sort of situation. But what else can Arsenal do at the moment? It's a bit worrying really, and I hope the ebullience and exuberance of Martinelli's early season form isn't going to be sort of curbed by the sort of problems that are going on at the moment. Really, it's sort of a bit worrying. Maybe I think I'd have probably given him a 5. Would you give him 6 in the end? He's a really good player, and he's going to be a great player. Hopefully, I just don't think he deserved to be in a game like this today, basically.
Yeah, and then Bukayo Saka gave him a 5. I thought, he tried his best, but it was pretty ineffective for me. He had a couple of chances that he maybe should have done better with.
Yeah.
Didn't really do anything in the second half for me. He was completely anonymous.
Yeah.
I think with him we've maybe jumped the gun a little bit. I think obviously, you were there for the first game in Frankfurt and he played really well, got thrown into the Premier League side straight away, and I think we may be just putting a bit too much pressure on him. Obviously, there's a really good player in there, but I think it might be a bit too much too soon for him. He's still only 18, you've got to think about it that way.
Yeah.
So, I think maybe take him out of the firing line for a bit, send him back to the under-23s, get him some game time and confidence there, get him back in form.
Yeah.
So, 5.
Yeah, well said. Completely agree with everything you say there. I think he does need to be withdrawn from first-team action for a short while, just so he can take stock of what he's learned and what he needs to do to get to the level where he can be really effective every week. And I think a break will do him good, basically. So, I completely agree.
Yeah, and then Aubameyang, the captain, back in goal-scoring form, which is good to see.
Yeah.
But again, the second half performance showed that he's not going to thrive without any service.
Yeah.
I saw a stat that after Frankfurt scored their second goal, Arsenal didn't have a shot on target.
No, it doesn't surprise me.
Which says to me, someone give the ball to Aubameyang in the box. You know, the one clear-cut chance he got in the box, he put away, and that's the kind of player he is. He's going to take the chances that he gets. Just give him the ball. Yeah. Just get the ball in the box to him, and he will take the chance. Yeah. It's frustrating. I feel sorry for him, but because of his goal, and obviously, worked hard. Gave him a 7.5.
Oh, 7.5. I think maybe 6.5. There was a spot in the second half, Sergio and I were talking about it. It was right late on. Mm-hmm. He came back for a corner or a free kick deep that was going to be whipped deep into the box. And he was basically taking the near post. And it was just like, he sort of sauntered back and it was like, he's our captain. A, he shouldn't be taking the near post. B, he should be potentially just, a bit of tub thumping. But I suppose players don't do that anymore. And maybe I'm expecting something that is not going to happen, certainly from a centre forward, where arguably, has been thrust into captaincy when he didn't really want it or doesn't really shine in it at the moment. So it's all a bit worrying, really. But maybe 6.5 for me, just because he got the goal and just he did try, didn't he? But just wasn't as effective as he wanted to be, basically. But
and then the subs, Guendouzi gave him a 5.
Okay.
Didn't really do anything for me. A
bit like Dan's grey
Well, Dan's completely right. Yeah. You do look at me, he runs around, he gets stuck in, but is there any kind of end product? Not really for me. The one thing I would say is, and this is quite an interesting stat, I think bar Aubameyang in terms of outfield players, he's played the most minutes out of any Arsenal player. Yeah. He's only 20. Yeah. That's a lot of pressure and stuff like that been put on him, and he needs the rest. He needs time, both physically and mentally, to just sit back, evaluate, and go again. Because you look at him and when you watch him play, you do think he's older, he's a bit more mature. We've got to remember that he is only 20, so probably does need a bit of time out the firing line. Hopefully Sokratis will be back soon to take some pressure off him. Obviously Granit Xhaka's now back in the fold as well. We'll see how long that's for. Yeah. So he does just need a bit of time away, I think, and a game of 5. Yeah, he certainly does need time to evaluate and digest and take stock of what he's about and what makes him tick and what he can improve on. Basically, he just I don't think he played that well tonight. Yeah, you're right. So, and then Ozil, I gave a 4.5. Came on, didn't do anything. Yeah, there was no moment where I saw him and I thought, he's going to create something here. Yeah, and that's the kind of game and the situation where you want him to have a big impact. You want him to create something. Just didn't do it for me, so 4.5.
What was instructive for us, I think I completely agree. Me and Serge were sitting there and there was a couple of lads in front of us and basically after about 5 minutes after Ozil was brought on, they were going, bring Ozil on. So either they were too drunk to realise or basically Ozil had done nothing and they didn't even notice the fact he had been brought on. Either way, it's a damning indictment basically, so very disappointing. Yeah,
and then Lucas Torreira, I didn't give him a rating because I felt so sorry for him. Yeah. Played the last 15-20 minutes, can't remember when he came on, somewhere around that mark. He shouldn't have been the man that was on the pitch. Yeah. It should have been Nelson or Lacazette or Pepe. It shouldn't have been him. I don't know what Emery expected him to do in that situation. Yeah, Emery looks at him as more of an attacking midfielder, which is a bizarre tactical decision for me. Yeah. He just shouldn't have been on the pitch. There's no kind of slam on his ability or anything like that, but he's just not the player for that situation. Absolutely. So I couldn't give him a rating because I just felt so sorry for him. Yeah, we were trying to work out what was the thinking behind Emery's decision, but couldn't work out at all. You've got 2 players, one who is currently club record signing, one who was a former club record signing, and you've got a youngster in Nelson who, has played okay this season, but is probably quite keen to show that he can make an impact. Yeah. And, change a game when Arsenal needs to change a game. Why? My mind is blown. I just can't understand it. I'm lost for words. I really am.
Yeah, that basically just sums up Emery at the moment, doesn't it? And Arsenal, really. I've got to ask, give us a mark for Emery as well.
1.
That's been kind as well, I think, isn't it?
Just because he seemed to almost find something that works by putting David Luiz in midfield, but I think he probably more stumbled across that than it was. It comes back to what I've been saying for a fair few weeks, and it's that he just keeps making decisions and changes the starting lineup that just show to me he's someone who's run out of ideas and is just going to try anything that he can to find a solution.
Yeah.
And putting David Luiz into midfield was one of those decisions for me. He's run out of solutions and options and ideas. I just don't know where he goes from there.
Yeah, exactly. Apart from potentially leaving the club, but that doesn't seem like it's going to happen either. Who knows? It's all fun and games at Arsenal. Well, it's that's the phrase anyway. It doesn't feel like that, but it's just very, very disappointing, very frustrating. Lamentable is one of the words. Disappointing, dispiriting, any words you want to think of, really, because Arsenal have lost again, and they've looked completely rudderless, as if you want to use the word of the week, basically, because they've just not impressed in any way, shape or form.
Yep.
Emery hasn't impressed as a manager, and where do we go from here? As Dan says, who knows? Will the board sack him? We can't tell. No one knows anymore, basically. But let us know what you think. Let us know about the player ratings. Do you agree, disagree? Like, comment, share. We want to know what you think as well. Subscribe as well, because it really helps us. We're getting more subscribers all the time. So thanks to everyone who has subscribed. Keep watching. There's a lot more to come. But in the shadows of the Emirates, from Dan the Man and myself, good night on a rainy and disappointing night in North London. Cheers.